It is that time of the week where we take a break and talk about Screen Sense, a Huffpost series about being mindful when it comes to technology and how it affects our lives. It is also the time of year where we pick up our smartphones and tablets or jump back on the computer to look up the best recipes, search for the best gifts, and send out the best invitations for the holiday season. So just in time for Thanksgiving, we have a holiday-themed Screen Sense to talk about how kids and adults can navigate the most wonderful time of the year. Joining me to discuss is Rana Florida, author of Upgrade, Taking Your Work and Life from Ordinary to Extraordinary, and of course, Lori Leibovich, HuffPost Executive Lifestyle Editor. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Holiday Screen Sense.
Thanks for having me.
Rana, I want to take a look at the blog that you wrote, Buy Experiences, Not Stuff. I think this is a great place to start the conversation because before the holidays even arrive, we're shopping for gifts. Hanukkah is tomorrow. Tomorrow it starts. Black Friday is at the end of the week. So before we start shopping, you wanted to make it a point to point out that we don't have to necessarily buy gifts. Why is that?
Absolutely. Well, 140 million Americans will be taking to the retail stores from Thursday to Sunday this week, with 55% of Americans shopping on Black Friday. And I think our society has become consumed by buying material possessions. And in fact, no longer do Americans have the day off on Thanksgiving. Many retailers are now open 24 hours, and they're calling not only Black Friday the Olympics of shopping, but they're calling Thanksgiving Day Gray Thursday, a time to go and spend money at the malls and big box retailers. So I think it's a time that we should all be thankful and think about, instead of buying consumer items and goods, to really think about buying experiences for your loved ones and your friends, because experiences go much longer way to enjoying lifelong memories and happy times together. You know, the things that sit in your closet will be there and unused, but memories you'll have for your lifetime.
You know, Lori, we touched on this a bit last week when we were talking about the idea of experiences versus gifts. How do you tell a 7-year-old that an experience is more important than unwrapping something on Hanukkah or on Christmas?
Well, that's my only quibble with this argument, is that I think that it is really difficult to do this with children, especially young children who are all about instant gratification, which doesn't mean you shouldn't try, but I think that this way of gift giving is absolutely fantastic for adults. And I know, that you're so right that I have a million things in my closet that have been given to me that I don't take out very often, but I do remember the friend who gave us, my husband and I, a gift certificate to an amazing restaurant, and that was a wonderful thing, and I never would have gone there on my own. I think this works so well for adults. I think that with kids it's a little trickier because there is that delayed gratification, but maybe it's something like you give them something small or a token, or if you're going to take them on a trip, you give them something that if you're going to the beach, you give them some buckets and some stuff to use on the beach when you go, but maybe give them a little something.
And Rana, for you, how do you manage that idea of wanting to experience everything about the holidays with family and friends, and that does include unwrapping presents, with the idea of giving experiences? Because like Lori said, my mom and I have been doing this for a while, and when I had those big life events like graduations or I turned 16, we did trips, and that was infinitely better than any gift she could possibly have wrapped up, but I don't know if I would have thought the same thing when I was 6.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's more difficult with children, but I think the problem starts with adults. We are training children to want more and bigger and better. If I go and I look at my nieces and nephews' playrooms, they not only have toys jammed in every single closet in their bedrooms, but they have playrooms packed in the basement, stacked and stacked with toys. Their garages are packed with toys. And it's really obscene. It's become obscene how much we shower our toddlers with gifts and material possessions. So I think the onus is on us. We are training them to want more and more from a very early age, and I just think that can be a very dangerous trend.
We talk so often about in Screen Sense about parenting technology and being a part of your children's life when it comes to tech. And I wonder, can giving a child the gift of some sort of technology be a little bit of a cop-out? Because as Rana's saying, you give an experience and you get to think about, well, what would this child like? What can we do together? What would be really special? As opposed to, not only could you give them something like a tech gift, but then that means you don't have to do anything with them when they're using it.
Right. You don't have to, but you can and should, I think, is the argument that I would make. That if you're, and I think it's okay for parents to think about not only what is going to be interesting to their kid, but what is going to be interesting to them. I find that with my son, the games and things that he's interested in that interest me are the ones that I will stop what I'm doing to participate in, and the ones that I'm not are the ones when I make dinner. And so I think we can sort of think about it a little bit more holistically about what, as a family, would we like to do together. I know that my kids like to dance, and so if we don't have a Wii, but I know that when we've used other families' Wiis, we have like dance parties. That's really fun, and that's a way that you can sort of incorporate everyone.
Rana, as we're talking about giving experiences instead of gifts, it leaves me thinking about actually experiencing the holidays, because sometimes we rush through them and we never actually sit down and enjoy the cousins that you haven't seen in a little while, or your mom who's in town, or your grandmother who you haven't had a chance to talk to. And this brings me to this blog, Can We Unplug for 24 Hours? So Rana, for you, not only are you gifting experiences, but do you try to pull back from the tech, pull back from the stress of the holidays and actually experience the now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's the most important time to experience the now. And some of the gift items that I talk about in giving experiences are, you don't have to spend a lot of money. The average consumer is spending between $250 and $500 for holiday presents. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can give tickets to the opera, tickets to the ballet, tickets to a baseball game or basketball game. You can adopt a pet. You can visit a science center, buy a membership to the zoo or the aquarium. And you can still package it so the kids have something to open. So it's a gift. I say that you're giving twice, because once they get to open the tickets, whether it's Spider-Man on Broadway or your hometown Nutcracker performance, and then you get to experience it again later on, be it a week or a month or the following day. So I think those are opportunities to unplug and to really experience the holiday gift-giving time and enjoy it with friends and family.
I love giving tickets. That is one of my favorite things to buy, because like you said, you get it twice. You get to open them up right there, and then you actually get to experience it, and sometimes together. So it's kind of a gift for you too. But Lori, I want to get you to maybe weigh in on this idea of unplugging for 24 hours. It's the holidays. You want people to see that the turkey looks amazing and that the latkes are done and that the presents are under the tree. So you want to take those photos and you want to Instagram. Should we pull back? Do we not want to do that?
So this is what works for me, and no one has to agree with me, but I think photos on holidays are fair game. And I think that as long as, it's the fighting the urge to then go to your email from the camera option. Photos should, I believe in photographs. We should be savoring our memories that way. I do think, though, we've talked here a lot about digital diets and how and when we need to know that it's time for us to take a break from our devices. And I think that Thanksgiving, of all days, it's a holiday we all celebrate. It's secular, and most people have the day off. And if there's ever going to be a time for you to ignore your email, ignore your social media, and really be in the present, as we're talking about, I think that I would urge everyone to try to do that this Thanksgiving, because as many very, very wise people have said, the best gift you can give anyone is your presence, and that's what we should all be doing. That's what the holiday is really about.
And that really does come back to Rana's original point of giving an experience, because if you're giving someone an experience, you are very present with them. Rana, before we wrap up here, I want to take a look at the Alvin Ailey Dance Theater. Is the gift that our producer asked her mom to give to her daughter. So if you're giving experiences yourself, is it something that parents should be asking their loved ones to give to their kids as well?
Oh, absolutely. I have 11 nieces and nephews under the age of 11. And one year at Christmas, it was like something out of a movie gone wrong. The kids were going wild, tearing open the presents, waiting for the next one. The instant gratification was over within seconds, and we taught them and trained them to be that way. So my brothers and sisters say, we'll buy one present together that a child can open, but the rest should be experiences. Because the training comes early on, and I think you're teaching kids the wrong thing if you're just showering with them with an obscene amount of presents every single year.
I think that is a great note to end on. Rana, thank you so much for joining us. Lori, it is always a pleasure. Have a wonderful
You too.
Thanksgiving and Hanukkah.
Thank you.
Thanks, you too.
I can't wait to brave the storm to go home and relax and eat turkey. Make sure that you check out Rana's blog below in our resource well and get some experiences this holiday season instead of the regular old gifts. Stick around. We have more HuffPost Live coming up next.